recognized.
Item 5 is the suo moto, my lord, your lordships have taken.
Yes.
We're grateful, my lords. And we will assist the court, my lord, and we'll go with
There
whatever.
are some issues that will require clarification.
My lord, only to clear the air, my lord, if your lordship gives me only 2 minutes. Lord, because there are several things circulating, my lord, and some misconceptions and misinformation and about the court, about the government, etc. My lord, the court appointed a committee. It was a court-appointed committee to decide certain issues, including the height, etc. They gave a report to the court, and the court has accepted that report. It was an expert committee. Lord, the court also directed that there would be a plan, Lord, mining plan, which is called MPMS plan, my lord. Management plan, my lord.
Yes.
Which is to be, my lord, done by experts. And we will, my lord, ultimately even for your lordships, and only after your lordships puts the seal of approval either with or without modification, that plan would become implementable. The government has also taken a decision that when this process is going on, preparation of the plan, there would be a public consultation also. So, my lord, whoever wants to oppose, support, whatever, my lord, that would be.
We appreciate that you have taken an initiative.
Yes.
For that purpose. But at the same time, what we feel that this report of the committee, that high-powered committee or whatever expert committee it was constituted,
Yes.
and the some resultant and consequential observations made by this court in the judgment, which are being misconstrued as it appears to be, certain clarifications are required.
Certainly, we'll ask.
We have undertaken some exercise, suo moto.
Certainly.
Suo moto ourselves, and we can point out after giving, after examining all these, the details how this matter arose.
Yes.
And after reproducing the directions issued by this court earlier, then my note which I prepared, it says, we therefore deem it appropriate that prior to the implementation of the committee's report or the execution of the directions contained in para 50 of this court judgment of 20th November 25, a fair, impartial, independent expert opinion must be obtained and considered after associating all requisite stakeholders. As you say that you will issue a public notice, such a step is essential to resolve critical ambiguities and to provide definitive guidance on issues such as. Now that's why we thought, and probably they will also.
Not
they will
identified or earmark the issue.
We have tried tentatively.
We'll assist your lordships in a constructive way.
Absolutely. Whether the definition of the Aravalli hills and ranges restricted exclusively to the 500-meter area between two or more Aravalli hills creates a structural paradox wherein the geographical scope of protected territory is significantly narrowed. That is need to be explained specifically. Two, consequently, it should be determined whether this restrictive demarcation has inversely broadened the scope of non-Aravalli areas. Non-Aravalli where regulated mining can be then permitted, thereby facilitating the continuation of unregulated mining and other disruptive activities in terrains that are ecologically contiguous but technically excluded by this definition. Now, because of the 100-meter issue, that now will you break or it will continue contiguous part? That will also require.
Our case is that we will not do that.
Very good. So your response will.
We will have to respond.
Whether the Aravalli hills, characterized by an elevation of 100 meters and above, constitute a contiguous ecological formation, even when the intervening distance exceeds the stipulated 500-meter threshold. What will happen in that case? Furthermore, in such instances, it must be clarified whether regulated mining would be permissible in these gaps. Now, if the gap is more than 500, what are you going to do in between? And if you do it, say one hillock of 100 meter and above, the other is 100 meter and above, and the distance is, say, for example, 700 meter. So, to what extent you will permit? That, again, needs clarification. Furthermore, in such instances, it must be clarified whether regulated mining would be permissible in these gaps. If so, what precise spatial parameters or lateral width would be utilized to define the extent of the Aravalli range to ensure that ecological continuity is not compromised. I think that everybody is concerned. Of course, you are concerned, they are concerned. Whether Next question, whether the widely publicized criticism asserting that only 1048 hills out of 12,081 in Rajasthan meet the 100-meter elevation threshold, thereby stripping the remaining lower ranges of environmental protection, is factually and scientifically accurate. In the event this assessment correctly identifies a significant regulatory lacuna, it must be determined whether an exhaustive scientific and geological investigation is necessitated. Such an inquiry would involve the precise measurement of all hill and hillocks elevations to facilitate a more nuanced and measured assessment of the criteria required to maintain the structural and ecological integrity of the entire range. That is what it will. And then we have said supplementary other issues that may also
whatever will crop up during the.
Then what we have said, and probably there should not be any serious opposition from both sides. Accordingly, but that will be only subsequently. Accordingly, we propose to constitute a high-powered expert committee comprising domain experts to undertake a comprehensive assessment of the report submitted by the committee. This study shall constitute an exhaustive and holistic examination of the questions formulated above and amongst other the following parameters. 1. Definitive enumeration of the specific regions that fall within the scope of the recommended definition. 2. A detailed identification of the territories that would be excluded from protection under the proposed criteria. 3. An analysis of whether sustainable mining or regulated mining within the newly demarcated Aravalli areas, notwithstanding regulatory oversight, would result in any adverse ecological consequences. That aspect can be examined. And 4th, an assessment of the area no longer covered by the definition, specifically whether such exclusion risk their eventual erasure or degradation, thereby compromising the overall ecological integrity of the Aravalli range. And lastly, a multi-temporal evaluation of the short-term and long-term environmental impacts resulting from the implementation of the recommended definition and its associated directions. Then we are issuing notice to all of you, Union and both the states, and of course we have requested Lani Attorney General, and you are there, Mr. Solicitor General, and Mr. Parameshwar being the amicus. We requested him to assist the court along with the CEC. Now you will tell us that what should be the composition of that committee. Why we are saying in the earlier committee there were experts, but if you will see, and probably that someone can explain to us also, that from the Union of India representative, the top one who were chairing the committee.
Ms. Ati appeared, maybe she may be able to clarify the factual aspect.
Secretary MOE was the chairman. Secretary MOE.
Secretary, that's right. And 2, the secretaries of the
Joint secretary was convener.
Secretaries of the state government also.
Chief secretaries, my lords. Your lordships had directed chief secretaries of the 4 states, the 4 Aravalli states, my lords.
Were these secretaries from All India IAS or they were from the Indian Forest Service?
No, my lords. These were chief secretaries of the 4 states, my lords.
No, there was
That is what slightly
may I suggest, before your lordships formulate a committee, your lordships will have to earmark the area in which the committee will go into. That would depend upon our reply. That some of the issues may not remain, my lord, for
we have said domain expert, and maybe that
can be, my lord, discussed for your lordship.
Now then we are suggesting that in the interim, to subserve the ends of complete justice and in the broader public interest, we deem it necessary to direct that the recommendations submitted by the committee, together with the findings and directions stipulated by this court in the judgment of 20th November 25, be kept in abeyance. This stay shall remain in effect till we constitute the committee and some further recourse is taken. So we are issuing notice for 21st January. That will be Wednesday, and will hear by that time. Then you may also file your response.
We shall do.
And lordships also.
And my lord, we have also intimated all the chief secretaries of every concerned state that no further mining.
Yes, Lordship.
We have been very clear about it.
Yes, Lord.
And we have also, my Lord,
We appreciate that you timely
We have
action.
seen your order saying already.
Lordship.
Yes. Yes.
Lordship, one very important point. There is
Issue notice for 21st.
Which says, my lord,
And you
that
pass this, we are issuing this order with an idea so that everybody will understand that what is the issue which require examination in the
Lord, if
course.
Ms. Bhati wants to say anything, because she has assisted the court throughout. I am coming for the first time.
Lordship, there is a split in the four states, Rajasthan, Gujarat, and another two others, Lordship, and Delhi and Haryana.
Delhi, Haryana,
Yes,
Rajasthan,
Lord.
Gujarat.
29 districts.
No,
Yes.
37.
Sorry, 30.
We are not concerned about districts, we are concerned about the range.
Yes, Lordship,
Yes.
yes.
there are certain IAs, my lord, which
Yeah.
says that those areas where mining has been prohibited.
Now please, these IAs, now that we have taken this action suo moto.
Yes.
Yeah, Lordship, much,
Now
much.
please, these IA people, what they are doing, they are filing IA, sending
no.
representation, and then they are going outside at the right place to address certain issues.
Altogether.
We-
Yeah.
My lord, I'm talking about
This practice we do not appreciate and we strongly deprecate.
which says that certain areas where mining has been prohibited should not be allowed to open.
Yes, Lordship, because residential
That's
areas
the
are only
talking about.
effective.
That's the only IA
Yes,
that
Lordship.
talks about.
We have now kept the order in abeyance, there is no question of
I'm
allowance.
so grateful.
Okay, Lord.
Obliged to Lord.
We're obliged.